Friends and neighbors, it's Neil Street back again. I've made it to the second break in another tournament on PokerStars. So I'll do the traditional looking up of my stats. So I'm seeing the flop 26% of the time. And in terms of pots, I've won 100%, 6 of 6. I went to showdown and also won 2 other pots without a showdown. So that's good stats. This could be a probably will be a shortish video because there's 19 players left and I'm in 16th place, so I'm down near the bottom of the pile. But obviously I'm going to try to do my best and make it to the final table, and we'll just have to see. So count down 3 seconds and counting. All right, I'm in the big blind here, and sorry, the small blind. If no one raises it up, I will call it. No one raised it up, so I'll call. So I'll check. Okay, the fact that 2 aces are on board, it makes it less likely that my opponent has an ace, so I'll bet. Because I have middle pair. And I'll bet again. For the rest of my chips, my tournament life is at stake. It could be sayonara shortly. We shall see. No, I win that one, so that's good. That pops me up to 11th place, so that put some color in my cheeks, as my father used to say. So, but again, the stacks bounce up and down, so never get too high, never get too low. I mean, in your spirits playing poker. All right, this is ace, basically rag, so I'll fold this. So it's just past the witching hour here in Ipswich, Massachusetts. The witching hour being midnight, of course. It's 12:02 a.m. So I haven't been naming the times on my other videos, but maybe I'll start doing that just for fun. All right, so with 18 players left, that makes 2 full tables of 9 players. So if I can fade 9 more players, I'll make it under the lights to the final table. And this is an insta-fold. Okay, somebody already dropped off one of the tables. The other table, I guess, is this one's still 9. The other table only has 8 because there's only 17 players left. Oh, I forgot to mention the money up top. First place prize is 1,238,000, and second place is 917,000. So you can see it drops off pretty sharply after the first place prize. So far this year, in this poker year, I'm about 1.3 million in the hole. So if I could do well in this tournament, that'll make a nice big dent in my debt. So they've changed their interface a little bit. They used to have, instead of these dollar bills or $100 bills or whatever they don't tell you the denomination. There used to be chips that were rotating around, but they decided it makes more sense for the money bubble burst to show money instead of chips. But one thing they took away is they took away the, oh no, I was thinking they took away the lights from the, but I'm not at the final table yet, so that's not true. So if I make it to the final table, you'll see the lights come on again, a little bit brighter in the 4 corners. I'm still in 11th, and now there's only 16 players left. There'll be a money jump at 15. So right now the If the player who goes out in 16th will get 163,000, and the 13 to 15 will get 183,000. So that's a nice 20K boost just by lasting one more player. Okay, so there's only 15 left. So wow, why are there 9 players at this table? They have to redistribute it. Okay, so it'll be 8 and 7. So right now the other table only has 6. So they got to take one of us and put him on the other table. I'm still in 11th. I seem to be holding steady there, which is a little unusual. I usually see myself bouncing up and down more than that. Okay, this is a fold. Jack rag. No brain cells were harmed in the making of that decision. So in 1, 2, 3 more hands, I'll get hit by the big blind, but I have a decent sized stack, so it won't. I don't have to do any sort of evasive action. If I were really short stacked, I'd have to consider uh, going all in on one of the hands before the big blind hits me. But since I have a big enough stack, I don't have to do that. So yeah, the interface shows you what cards you were dealt, but in a grayed out manner when you're not in the hand anymore, and you actually have to hover over your name for it to pop them up. All right, kings. I should say earlier on I had kings and I more than doubled up. So this is definitely a call, maybe a raise. I'll just call and hope I don't see an ace in the flop. Because if I do see an ace, then, well, it depends on how many people are left in the hand, but there's a fair chance an opponent might have an ace that would knock off my cowboys. Okay, an ace did not appear, so I'm betting. So let's see if I can scare him off. It did, okay. So that popped me up to 9th place. So that's a good thing, because if I stay there, I'll make the final table. That's ace rag again, so I don't want to play any ragged aces. So I'm going to get the big blind next hand, but I'm in way better shape than I was earlier when I had 14,000 in chips. Now I have 21,000 in chips. So I'm cautiously optimistic that I have a good chance of making the final table. That's probably a jinx type of thing. I should never say things like that because then I don't make it. But sometimes I just can't help myself. All right, so it's a pretty dry board in terms of there's no straight possibility, well, a far off one, and no flush possibility. That's called a rainbow flop because the 3 different suits are showing. So with a rainbow flop, it's very unlikely that someone's going to get a flush, because that means the turn and the river both have to be one of those, the same suit and one of the suits that's showing in the flop here. So for instance, 2 hearts or 2 spades or 2 clubs, and the player would have to have 2 of that same suit in their hand, in their hole cards, I should say. Okay, we're down to 14. Somebody got knocked out in 15th. So sometimes it really slows down when people nearing the final table, they want to make it, so they play a little more cautiously sometimes. Not everybody, though. These guys are throwing some chips around right here. Okay, ace king, that's a good hand to go all in on. 31,000 in chips for that guy now, or gal. Okay, that's a calling hand if no one raises up. This person's all in. Okay, so somebody else dropped out. So it's now at 13th place. There's the next money jump. 12th place is 209 grand from 183. So 26K jump there. The jumps just keep getting bigger as you go up, obviously. So depending on what this guy does, I'm going to call this. Okay, I'll call it. And I'll just check this. That's another rainbow flop and all lowish cards, so I'd be surprised if this didn't get checked all the way around. Because if you pair one of these low cards, that's pretty much crap. Well, it's not total crap, but it's crap of a sort. All right, so now there's a straight possibility here with a 2, 3, 4. I'm going to check again. I bet it'll check all the way around again once more. Or maybe the person in the dealer button acting last try to put the fear of God into us and bet something. I will fold in that case. Yeah, he bet something, so I'm gone. Ah, the ace 8 beat the ace queen because there was an ace and 8 in the an ace and an 8 in the community cards. So that popped this guy up, or gal. Okay, that's an insta fold. Okay, so we're still with 13 left. I have to do this thing where I readjust to see how many chips the top player has. He's got 93,000. So wonder what's taking this guy. This guy took a while before he bet last time too. He'll probably just fold. He'll be sitting out. Oh, he folded just before he would have been auto sat out. Okay, well, suited 10, 6, no, not for me. Yeah, when you're nearing the final table, you can afford to be pretty picky. And if you have a big enough stack, that is. I have a big enough stack to be pretty picky. The blinds aren't going to eat me up at this rate. If I stay above the blinds eating me up, then I'll make the final table. So I realize I've got a little bit of dead air here, but cut me some slack. It's after midnight. I wonder if this guy is supposed to be Venom, one of the Marvel heroes / anti-heroes. Yeah, this guy takes a long time to make his decisions. Okay, he could be Gonzo. Oh, he got a lucky river. So he got 3 6s. So that popped him right up. So that popped him above me, so now I'm in 10th instead of 9th. So King 7 suited is a decent hand. This guy just takes forever to make his decisions. It's a little annoying, but what are you going to do? Okay. Yeah, so now I'm in 9th again. So it just goes up and down. Oh wow, I'm gone here. That's too rich for my blood. It's still 13 of us hanging on by our fingertips, tooth and claw, whatever, just trying to stay alive, staying alive. Okay, this guy just got knocked out, Phantom or whoever it is. So that was a money jump for all the remaining players. So now the next payout is 209 grand. Non c'è male. That means not bad in Italian. So I have to fade 3 more players and I'll make the final table. And once again, the first place scrolled off because of this faulty software from PokerStars. Okay, so see what we got here. So I'm going to get hit by the big blind next hand because the button move here. This guy will be the dealer, that'll be the small blind, and I'll be the big blind. That'll be 4K big blind, so that'll pop me down to 8.9. So that's a hefty chunk. So it's sort of it's going to be a photo finish whether I make it to the final table, I think. I've used this analogy before when I was writing my blog, and I probably mentioned it in one of my videos before this too, that when you're trying to get to either making the money at all or making the final table, it's like you're trying to land a big jet. It's nighttime and it's raining a bit, and it's you got a crosswind, and you're just trying to get this thing onto the runway. So the runway for me right now is the final table, and I'm getting close. Okay, 12th place some just got knocked out in 12th place, but now I'm 10th, so I'm one away from being Caboose Boy, meaning that Caboose Boy is the one has the shortest stack. So this is a check because I was in the big blind. So I'm not going to bet it with 7-4. So I have what's called bottom pair. This would be middle pair and that would be top pair. Heads up, a pair is pretty good, but when it's bottom pair, it's not that good. Okay, that's 2 pair for me. That's bettable. Okay, all right. I'm going to go for it. This could be sayonara time, babies. Yep, fuck. Pardon my French. So I missed this final table by 2 spots. So I end up in 11th place for 209K. Not too bad. All right, now I'm going to go off to the other window and turn this puppy down. Talk to you later.